This is the emergency podcast system. This is not a test. Movies are bombing all over the country. They are posing as movies you already know. They may already be in your theaters, your neighbor's home, or even your own. Do not panic. Specialists have been dispatched. They will help you identify these pretenders and defend you against this invasion of the remake. Please stand by for further instructions.
Welcome to the Invasion of the Remake podcast. I am the commander of the mothership, Jason Bishop, and with me today are my two pilots, Trish Coughlin.
Hey, everybody.
And Sam Stepanenko.
I'm scared. I don't think I watched the right movies. We're talking about spaceships and stuff like that. That's not what I watched.
Oh, no, he's just using mothership.
Well, we're the Invasion of the Remake. We're the...
I now understand. I'm sorry. I'm
play
slow
on
today.
words.
Not enough caffeine.
All good. All good.
Trust me, sometimes I've had that feeling. I'm like, oh, no.
Well, when I was watching these movies, I'm like, oh, no.
There
Am I watching
are
the right movies?
There are a lot of Mother's Day movies, and hopefully you followed my instructions.
Yes.
Because we are talking about the Mother's Day from 1980 and the Mother's Day from 2010, which is a loose remake of the original.
Very loose.
So loose, but good.
But loose in my mind in some of the best ways.
Oh, in so many of the best ways.
Yeah.
But like the spirit of it with that very crazy mother, very much intact.
Mm-hmm.
But
And the names, and there were some definite homages to the original there that sort of showed up in the action. But yeah, otherwise very different movies. And for the better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For the better. Yeah, that first one, it's unsettling to me. Those old slasher movies I kind of find are in that early era, the I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left, that mix of really extreme kind of horror, that women in jeopardy with rape and torture, along with some really goofy shit, and it mixes for a really unsettling watch.
And not enjoyable.
I did not like the original movie.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No.
It just was bad. And I think it was bad when it came out.
there were notes of it that I really actually kind of enjoyed. Like the friendship between the three women, I felt was stronger in the first one than the second one.
Oh, for sure.
And their connection made more sense to me.
Well, they took a lot more time establishing it, and that's why I was saying, am I watching the right movie? Because it just took forever to get to the mother part, and it was mostly about these three women who had this long-time relationship. And you're right, probably the best part of the film was that relationship that they had.
Yeah, I loved it.
And the pranks, and yeah, that was part was a lot of fun.
The prank that came back and made sense and helped them at the end.
Yes, no, it was wonderful. It was a great setup. Right? There are some really... I mean, I wish we could talk about this movie and remake it rather than to talk about a remake.
Yes.
Because it has lots of really great bits in it, but part of it is its age. It's really dated, and there's a lot of really bad stereotypes in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
And there are parts of that movie that actually made me feel nauseous just because it was so... Like, not graphic. It wasn't a graphic movie in any way, really, when it comes right down to it.
Kind of visceral.
It's visceral, yeah. And when they're eating breakfast, I was actually nauseated.
Yeah. That was so disgusting.
It was absolutely disgusting. And yeah, that was probably the only time in the whole movie I was like actually uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of uncomfortable
I was
for most of
uncomfortable
it.
for most of it.
Yeah.
Although what freaked me out at the very, very beginning was at the blonde girl and the other guy with a mother. I'm like, oh my God, is Lady Gaga just like timeless? Because she looks exactly like Lady Gaga.
From the seminar? Is it the one? Yeah.
She's a Highlander?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that was true. But there's so many bits about it that are so unsettling. But it's like you say. I wish we could. You're right. If we can remake it, we could take the best parts of it and make it something else that would be just stronger. Which I think they did try with a new movie.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. And I mean, they wrapped the remake around some real life crimes and just found a good hole in there to do some. You know what? For a home invasion horror movie, which is what the second one kind of is. Essentially is. Yeah. And it's no... Plot-wise, I don't think it's any stronger or worse than any other ones in that genre, and some of the best of that genre. But really, that movie comes down to performances.
Oh, unbelievable
Completely.
performances. When you look at that cast and go, holy shit, all these people in here, like they're all strong working actors or were strong working actors before they did this movie. Like there is not a single person in that movie who isn't working in mainstream. Right? I mean, it's amazing that they did this film.
Yeah, and sadly, that movie it was buried.
It was so buried. Well, it took 2 years to get released.
Yeah, and only to 3-city release before 4 days later coming out on DVD.
Yeah.
And it was released in a small run in the UK about a year earlier than it was in America, which is even more baffling because it was a North American film.
Well, and as we were talking, I had trouble finding it.
I get the feeling that Darren Bousman is, I don't know, I think he's on some people's shit list.
Maybe.
And I don't know why, because I think he makes some really great films.
But I mean, this is a good example of a well put together film.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're right. It does fall into that home invasion subgenre, but if it hadn't have been categorized as a remake, I think it would have done much better than it did.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't release it, really. I mean,
True.
unless you were in Chicago, New York, or L.A., you didn't see the damn thing. Most people don't know it exists.
And when you consider the box office...
I found it by accident.
When you consider the box office that it did in its very short, limited release, it did really well. It did make its money back.
For 4 days. Oh, yeah, it didn't touch. I mean, the remake had an $11 million budget, and box office-wise, I think you include the UK in that short run in the States, 862,000. Almost 863. So didn't even make $1 million box office wise, but
when you consider it got almost no theaters,
so
that's hard to do.
Even direct to video, I'm guessing that thing still hasn't broken even.
I don't even think they put like any VOD on it because, like I was saying before, I had so much trouble finding this.
Oh, they must
which
have
is
at
part
some
of
point.
it.
I mean, we're 6-7 years out from it now, but I guess 5 years from its actual release. But they must have done a VOD or something of it.
Yeah, because I stumbled upon it on IMDb, and I did actually try to look for it and find it, and it took me until now to like actually get a chance to see it.
Yeah, tough movie to track down.
But
and it is a shame because it is a fine example of the home invasion genre
for sure, which is a very different genre from really it was the women in peril revenge kind of movie, but the first time around.
Yeah, which doesn't really play so much nowadays. So they were smart to make that change.
But it's what it does is that the home invasion genre. It's sort of, I see it as being like A, B, C, D. But what this sort of does is it plays in that area in a really interesting way. With, of course, Rebecca De Mornay's performance, where she's that captor who tries to befriend them and be nice, be both good cop and bad cop, and like put them off their balance. And it's really quite, the way she sort of plays with them is amazing.
Oh, I mean, the psychological implications.
It's deeper than any other home invasion I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot more interaction. I mean, she really truly interacts with these people. She's not there to kill them. She's there for a completely different motive.
Yeah,
the murder
to help her sons escape.
The murder and the horror that happened are ancillary effects of everything that happens. Yeah. I mean, let's get right down to it. If those people had fucking listened, they'd all be alive.
Yeah,
I'm not terribly sure. Because she's that type of person where these people mean nothing to her, and they can identify her family. Them living is the worst thing that she could do.
No. Well,
she doesn't care about
them. But the cops already know who these people are.
They do. That's
true.
Right?
But I mean, these people are dead and don't report them and tell them where they're going.
And their whole plan was
loose ends.
They are loose ends. Yeah, so it is in question, but certainly their odds of survival would have been greater, I think, if they had listened.
Yeah, if they would have just ponied up right away, and those guys would have been out there. But then again, like in both movies, Adley really fucks things up along the way.
Oh, Adley's terrible.
Yes, yeah, very different characters in the two movies,
but not really.
No.
They've made these guys smarter in the remake. They're not these inbred mongoloids. I do like the fact that the remake does address the "where's the dad" part.
Yes.
Yeah,
right at the beginning.
Pretty geniusly, actually. It's a good hook.
Yeah, and based on
a good ending too.
Yeah, very good ending.
And based on another thing, like, okay, we've addressed like the rape. That's a very real fear. But imagine the horror of losing your baby. Somebody just takes it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really tense moment in the opening scene. I'm like, oh.
Like, what do you do? She's holding a baby. You can't shoot her.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's move back to the original film before we get too deep into to our love, I think, mutual love for that second movie. If you get a chance, go find it, because it's really good.
It's unsettling, but it's worth going through.
Yeah, well...
I don't think I was in the right headspace for this. It really messed with my head.
You know, I got to think about it. I'm like, we really must hate the holidays. When we look back at all the holiday movies we've done now, and they're all horror movies that just go horribly for most of the people in it.
That's not even us. That's the thing. We have two choices for holiday movies. We have a horror movie or something by Gary Marshall. Those are the options. That's all we have.
Yeah, it won't be like this every year.
We promise.
It's either a romantic comedy or a horror movie. There is no dramatic holiday movie.
And we already know how we feel about romantic comedies and remaking them. So,
Yep, we did one. I'm good.
Yeah. Eventually we will do another.
Yeah,
because we have to.
And because romantic comedies are pretty much the same.
Well, and they've got to be fixed.
No kidding. But not today.
Not today.
Yeah, Mother's Day.
So, yeah, Mother's Day, 1980. This was written and directed by Charles Kaufman and co-written by Warren Leight, who wrote a shit ton of Law and Order. Mm-hmm. And Charles Kaufman is also known mainly as a writer. He wrote a lot of, mainly animation, to be honest. Dennis the Menace, Ghostbusters and the Slimer spinoff, Brave Star. He even did the Filmation Ghostbusters that has nothing to do with the film franchise.
Nice.
So he's worked on two versions of the Ghostbusters. And probably the lesser-known brother of Lloyd Kaufman, who is one of the associate producers on this film.
Yep.
It is not a Troma film. Troma does own it now, so I guess technically it is.
Yeah,
but
which is why our title said
it wasn't at the time. Yeah.
And I think that's what messed me up with this movie as well, is it did have that Troma feel to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, although it didn't have that tongue firmly planted in cheek.
That's why I
kind
of had trouble with it. I'm like, this doesn't feel quite right for Troma.
It's mean.
Too sincere.
Yeah. It's mean-spirited.
It is mean-spirited.
Too sincere in its meanness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Troma, it's just...
To think that this guy went on to do beloved cartoons.
I know.
Right?
We all have a dark side.
Yeah.
Don't want to know about the guy who does Garfield.
Yeah, to nobody's surprise, I couldn't find a budget or a total. Oh, actually, the budget was $150,000. I did find the budget, but I couldn't find a box office, and it probably was not.
It's probably a home video type of deal.
Yeah, I would think 1980 there was a ton of that stuff. So, starring Tiana Pierce, Nancy Hendrickson, Deborah Luce or Luce, I don't know how you pronounce it.
I think it's Luce.
I only know how it looks. So, Frederick Coffin, cool name. He was one of the sons. He was Ike. Michael McCleery, who was the other son, Adley. Beatrice Pons was the mother. Beatrice Pons,
so good.
Yeah, she actually. I don't know if you caught the credits, but she credited as a different name because she was still part of the film union at the time, and she couldn't go off doing a non-union shoot, so she just changed her name and hoped nobody noticed.
Nice.
Because she really wanted to do the movie.
You could tell she was having fun doing it. Right?
Yeah. She settled into that evil mom role.
And probably the only person in the movie that was union at the time.
No, Frank Coffin was. He had a fairly decent body of work leading up to that film. Smaller stuff, because I did look at his filmography, and then he's still working. Like he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a bit actor. Like he's never made stardom or anything like that, but he's definitely been a working actor for the last 3.5 decades.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's hard to say nowadays.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's either people think you're successful if you're just a huge star. But, if you continue and you are consistent and you do stuff, so many different things that people don't know who you are, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It means you're an actor. People don't recognize you.
As an actor, I'm like, really, as long as you're still working, really. I mean, God, I'd say, what 1 in 1,000 get really known?
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, if you can stay working and on fairly notable things, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is really good. Yeah, and he has been in some pretty recognizable things, and he's actually played some pretty recognizable roles, smaller roles, but he's been in a lot of stuff. I don't know if he's billed under Frank Coffin. I think that's another pseudonym. Yeah, because I think he may have been union as well and had to do the same thing that Beatrice did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because
It's a pseudonym.
There's nothing like that. Doesn't sound legit at all.
No, it sounds like a perfect pseudonym for a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, too cool. Really, this thing's pretty basic. The opening's a bit wonky and weird.
And long.
And it's long, yeah. It throws you off a little bit because it's this kind of motivational growth speaker
What is it?
thing. It was such a weird thing that they were coming out of, and I guess it would have been kind of 60s where that took place.
The 70s. They said they actually...
It was 1970.
Oh, no, it's 70s was a
1970.
slideshow and 1980 was present day. So I don't know how long ago. I thought it was 1980 when they killed those people.
No, I'm pretty sure it said 1970 at the opening.
Because they were graduating university.
And you're right. It was later.
It flips back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of time jumping in the movie as the other main characters start flashing back to their college days. But yeah, there's the hippie couple that come out, and
Lady Gaga and her boyfriend.
Lady Gaga and her boyfriend, and they're talking to Grandma, and they all feel good. And she's like, "Oh, they're gonna head off." And Grandma's, I'm Grandma. It's Mother. We're going to refer to her as Mother because it's Mother in both movies. She's just old, and offers to give him a ride to wherever they're going.
Yeah,
and it's weird because
they suspect nothing.
No,
it's not on the way to the bust stop where they're going.
Yeah, nobody's like, it should have been a 5-minute drive, and now they're in the country. Yeah. Like, we're just gonna. She just must have off screen decided, I'll just drive you to the next city.
Yeah, I'm sorry, hippa couple, but this is on you.
And
Don't trust an old lady.
I've never seen hippies get so intense about the radio. Yeah. Like, it looked like they were ready to kill the mother because she wasn't going to turn on the radio. Well, they don't, and then the guy seems to, as soon as the radio goes on, the car breaks down, Mother goes to look, so opens the hood of the car, and it really looked like they were going to do something to her.
Yeah.
Mother asks Lady Gaga to go sit in the driver's seat and turn it over, right?
Yeah.
The guy in the back, do it. Well, I don't want to do it. Do it. I don't want to do it. Turns on the radio. It looks like he's just ready to kill, and then turns on the radio, and he's like, cool.
Yeah, I didn't get that either because I thought...
Wait, what is going on?
I thought it was supposed to be they were going to... Because it looked like they were going to kill her maybe and rob her. I thought that was the idea. And
I think that's what you're supposed to feel, is you're supposed to feel like they were the bad guys.
Oh, sure. It's a weird misdirect because that just kind of falls and...
Doesn't do anything. All you get is the guy's head in a bird cage in the closet later on.
Yeah, well, we see his head get chopped off by one of the sons. This is all a trap, obviously. And his head gets chopped off. She gets dragged out of the car by Adley. And he's going to rape her. And thankfully, that's something I think maybe I was kind of happy about the film because it pulls away from the really disturbing stuff at the last moment. Usually because Ike gets in there and just
looks like he's going to take a turn and instead kicks the shit out of her.
Yeah, he's more sadistic. He just beats the shit out of her and kills her.
Well, I don't.
Oh, actually, it's Mom who.
I was about to say Mom says
strangles
no.
her. Yeah, Mom says no, and Mom
strangles her.
I
did like Mom strangling her. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, because we don't see her get too physical in this movie.
No, she's the mastermind controller of these children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It establishes how evil she is, too.
Yeah, Ike is special. I don't know. I guess we're supposed to think they're inbred in that Mountain Men kind of movie thing.
Well, I think that part of it, too, is I think that she's kind of... They're kept as children, right? They're grown men as children.
Yeah, they definitely act as children. I mean, the one guy's... I'm not even sure. They give him the buck teeth to kind of make him look slow, but at the same time, he actually sometimes feels smarter than Adley.
Oh yeah, he knows how to get things
Adley's
done.
Is just very juvenile.
I think you're right. He's just
Ike's
kept in a childlike state.
Yeah,
because his alarm clock is Big Bird.
Yes, which is just weird seeing this family and they're waking up to Big Bird, but
time to get up.
Yeah, and just sort of some of the things that they do, like the condition of their house, the way that their breakfast is like a kid's breakfast, right? Like there's all these things that sort of suggest that they're supposed to be childlike in adult bodies with that same sense. Without that sense of right and wrong that most children get.
Well, I'm not sure Mom does either. I mean,
Mom's teaching them warped shit.
Yeah, it's weird because there's graffiti in the house when she's got them doing that weird training montage.
Yeah,
they're actually Ike is breaks one of the windows and is chopping it with an axe. And I'm like, why would you do that to your home? Do that at somebody else's house at least, you psycho. Yeah. I'm going to run the trailer, get everybody caught up, and we'll talk some more about this.
Somewhere in the woods of Deep Barren, a woman and her sons live in isolation. When they come out, it's for one reason only.
Now let's see what you brought Mother.
Some say she spoiled her boys. Some say she drove them mad. No one who found out has lived to tell.
Darlings, you have made your mother very proud.
Charles Kaufman's Mother's Day. Jackie, Abby, and Trina have come to the wilderness for a weekend of fun. Little do they know that out there, something lies watching, waiting. Someone's coming. They're getting closer. There's nowhere to run, no one to hear you scream. When you know how to celebrate, every day is Mother's Day. From the darkest corner of the imagination to the outermost reaches of insanity and terror comes a celebration of mayhem. Charles Kaufman's Mother's Day. Escape on Mother's Day because Mother's Day never ends.
All right, Mother's Day. Yeah,
the trailer is better than the movie.
That trailer is actually...
If you know how to celebrate, every day is Mother's Day.
Yeah, the trailer is definitely better than the movie. That was insane. Yeah, we're now past the intro, and the rest of this movie is about three girls who go on an annual trip together. This year is a camping trip. Trina, Abby, and Jackie, they're all getting together for their annual trip, and we do see a little bit of their home lives. Trina's a rich girl who likes hosting parties.
She's Beverly Hills. Now, this party, when I looked at it, did anybody else think Boogie Nights?
Not really, but in retrospect, yeah.
Yeah, with the roller skating, following the roller skates around, I was like, this is so Boogie Nights.
It's a porn party with old people.
Yeah.
There were a lot of old people at that party.
And that was Boogie Nights.
Yeah, no, like I said, in retrospect, yes. I have to say that there's definitely that air to that party.
I found that very distracting.
It felt like, there was a lot of old men skeeving on young girls.
Oh, yeah. Was it the one guy who talked about Stanley Kubrick?
Maybe Trina is in porn.
Maybe
she's a porn actress.
We don't know this.
We don't know.
No judgment. We don't know this.
No
judgment.
There's good money there.
No,
yeah.
and
1980.
She starts out the movie as the strongest character in terms of confidence, right?
Yes,
she's extremely confident.
Yeah. And that, we'll get to that.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned it.
Let's actually talk about all three of them. Sure. Because, I agree. Abby is the one that I think most associates through this film because she's also got a sick mother. She uses an excuse to just have her daughter dote on her, and we only hear her off screen. She's a voice.
Very psycho-esque.
Yeah. It's like, you've been out all day, and I'm your mother. You leave me alone. I'm a sick woman.
Yeah.
I'm a sick woman. And you can tell it's just on her last nerve.
See, and that whole time I kept thinking, I'm like, oh my God, is this a psycho situation? And maybe the mother's already dead?
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I'm like, I kind of thought that Abby, especially the way she just goes at it at the end of the movie, I'm like, I think she's killed before.
That's what she's killed a mother before.
I think that there should be another scene in there where we go back to her apartment and, it's her dead mom.
Yeah.
Because,
Definitely some shades of that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's Jackie, who, once they get together, seems to be the leader of the group.
Yeah.
She's the one that tells the stories, is the prankster among them. But she's also got problems with men, a history of it. We see it in flashbacks. We see it in her
now.
home life as she's being taken advantage of by her live-in boyfriend who doesn't seem to give two shits about her.
Oh, he doesn't. And he doesn't do anything.
Steals from her right in front of her
and
face.
he's a whiny little bitch.
Oh,
Yes.
He's like, I don't know. You don't know how hard it is on my ego that you go out and work and I don't, but I'm too sensitive to work 9 to 5, you little shit.
Yeah. See, this is where I think the movie might have failed a little bit because she's the first victim, and I thought she's the one that most needed to fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
personally.
seemed to be the one who would. I thought she was the girl that was going to get through.
We needed to see her change and then stand up to these men who've been taking advantage of her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she just ends as a victim. She's a victim through most of her life, at least in the film. So
I think that was this. I don't know. I think that was.
She does get her revenge a couple of times on old boyfriends in flashbacks, but
true. But maybe this is where she was also the victim, but her friends are the ones who kind of help her get even and stand up to other men. But I don't know. Maybe this is where the movie doesn't pull the punch, where it's like, no, if you just let this happen to you all the time, you know what? You're eventually going to. Yeah, it's going to happen to you. Eventually, time will run out on you, and you can't get your.
Yeah, that's the biggest narrative failing, and I think in the film is she's the one that should have been the one that gave the confidence to fight back. But
yeah, I mean, it's more real. The realism of it is hard.
Although I like what she did to that one guy in the football field and gets them all naked and then turns on the lights. Yeah. The only thing missing was an audience. They should have had an audience.
I know.
It was enough to freak him out, though.
Well, he says everybody call him Dauber, and that made me think of the TV series Coach.
Yes.
I'm like, is this a prequel? What happened here?
Or somebody was a fan of the movie and threw it into Coach.
Maybe. I feel a lot of people were fans of this movie because I see things in other movies that I'm pretty sure came from this one.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when it came when my friend in high school and I discovered horror, and this I never did see this one, but he raved about this movie and how much fun it was to watch, and now watching it now is 30 years later.
I didn't find it fun.
I did not find it fun at all.
Do you wonder about your friend now?
No, he was 17 years old, or even younger, maybe when he watched this and had just discovered slasher horror. So I'm thinking that he didn't get the subtext of this film the same way that he would as an adult.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where there's things a 17-year-old might like with the girls frolicking and getting naked and
getting naked in the lake.
And there's a specific scene that at the end of the movie when they kill not Ike, the other one.
Adley?
Oh, Adley.
I wanted to call him Abby, but Abby is the other character.
Yeah.
Adley, yeah. When his death scene, that was one of the ones that he sort of focused on. Was because it was creative, right?
Yeah. Hey, geniuses, having a guy named Adley and then a girl named Abby.
It's hard.
This is going to be. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do those names in the other one.
Partly the genius of it was having it take so long to try and choke someone out or get them to stop breathing, because they stop breathing, but you've got to stay on them to really kill them.
Yeah. So these girls are camping and we get to see them run down memory lane while they're being stalked by the boys.
Yeah.
And they finally get taken at night in their sleeping bags, get wrapped up. I almost thought they were going to do the whole Friday the 13th tree thing.
Yes. That's what I thought too. That's why I think other people are fans of this movie.
I mean, there's definitely some silly stuff in here that I can see why people would find the funny in some of those moments. But yeah, I don't know. It just the disturbing seems to overpower the funny for me.
It really does.
Yeah, and and part of it too is I found the pacing really awkward in this movie. So it was very hard to engage in it. It felt longer than it needed to be, but it wasn't very long.
No, it's 90 minutes. Yeah. I think it might be just shy, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, just the way it was paced, it just felt really drawn out. And not in a good way.
Yeah, in a way, it does feel longer than the remake, which is a longer film.
Yeah.
By good 20 minutes.
It takes a long time to get going. I think that's part of it too. Is that first 45 minutes, nothing really happens after that intro, right? A few sort of hints at things, but nothing.
Well, I think it was sort of what they missed is what they were trying to do is they were trying to ratchet up that tension with the hint of menace, where they're being watched, but forgot to let people know that they were being watched. So you forgot to get, scared.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think this is 1980 too, so as well, not 1982.
Yeah.
I should say 1980 as well. And a much earlier time and a low budget, so they don't really have the luxury of doing a lot of build up. That's the best way they could build that tension. We've already seen a kill, and there we know these girls are being stalked. It's a very classic way to do things. I don't know if it worked very well, but I felt tension right from the get-go, so I was just kind of kept on edge through most of the movie, and maybe that was a success in that regard, because, I found it disturbing right out of the gate, and mainly I think it's the rape and torture, I'm okay with a good old-fashioned kill, but once you just get malevolent about it and torture them and rape them before you eventually kill them, then I get a little upset.
No,
just chop their heads off. That was cool. I like the chop head off part.
I am down with that. Or choking the woman by the side of the road. Totally down with that.
But once you get into you're right.
The suffering part. So they get taken and introduced to Mama. We should mention the neck brace.
Yes.
Yep.
She's got a neck brace on through the whole movie, and she tells the backstory that her sister tried to strangle her in the crib.
Yeah, her sister Queenie, and that's why she has a neck brace to this day.
Yeah. And if she thinks that Queenie's evil, how evil is Queenie? Because Mom's pretty evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom's pretty evil, and she uses Queenie as this boogeyman kind of thing, the story, to kind of keep her kids in line.
Well, it's like...
Ish.
Well, it's that M. Night Shyamalan, the one where they're all in the forest, The Village.
Yeah.
That's what Queenie is. She's that creature from The Village.
At least that's what we think.
That's what we're told. That's what they sort of intimate.
You get the feeling that there's just... And even the kids start thinking, well, you've been telling us that story. We've never seen Queenie.
Yeah.
And it's just to kind of keep them in line and keep them close to her.
Yeah. The theme in both of the movies is kind of this very dysfunctional mother relationship where she will victimize her own children to keep them with her forever.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's made really apparent in the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She does it. It's far more psychological in the remake.
Yes.
I think they take those hints from this first one, because obviously Queenie's a ridiculous idea, but they still use it.
Yeah.
But they're kept very childlike and very isolated. So when you're conditioned like that your entire life, that can take a really good hold.
Oh, for sure. She's a cult leader. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Essentially, that's what she is, yeah.
That's what I thought it was at the beginning of the movie with that whole thing. I thought it was a cult meeting thing. I thought this was going to be a completely different movie.
It may have been. Somewhere there's another movie going on where the rest of the people from that.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's all kinds of great setups in this where that could have spun off other sort of related horror, right? Same universe type horror stuff, right? And now we're going somewhere new.
Yeah. See, we desperately want to remake this movie. I keep having this feeling. We know what we want to do. We can't because it's already been done.
Well, we got a side movie in mind at least.
Yeah.
And it's got cults.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's this dysfunctional, very, very dysfunctional thing. It's so disturbing to me.
Yeah, so they get all tied up in their makeshift gym.
Because the boys have to work out all the time, too.
Yeah, well, they got to go through this terrible regimen to keep them fit for raping and torturing and thieving. And
yeah.
Which is really hilarious and disturbing at the same time.
Yes, and
that's probably one of my favorite bits that I kind of enjoyed as a comedic thing. I'm like, this is just nonsense.
Yeah.
This whole movie is nonsense.
It really is nonsense. It's nonsense, especially that montage, the training montage, and that scene made me think that maybe Mama's absolutely nuts, but I almost wonder if she started out as a survivalist. And that would explain the training and stuff like that. But it's gone to a point where
she's training her sons to be monsters.
Yes. Yeah. Whereas she is training to be monsters, and their definition of survivalism is killing anything that comes near.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then not even killing anything that comes near, because there's that whole area where it's they go through these scenarios when they're repeatedly raping the one girl, different rape scenarios.
Yeah, when they take Jackie, she becomes part of these scenarios, and Mom's sitting and watching as an audience of one.
And giving them tips and instructions.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do the schoolgirl bit.
That fucking disturbing. Walk like a little girl. What the fuck?
No kidding, right? And there was one that was like, what was the one that Ike didn't want to do? He's like, oh, I hate that one.
Oh God, I can't remember. I blocked it out.
There was a couple of scenes, and it always seems to end with Adley trying to rape her.
And raping her.
Yeah, well, they
trying.
don't get very far. Other than that,
Yeah.
he's a 2-second guy. But I mean, she is raped repeatedly.
Yeah, it's like it's.
I got the feeling he was just more dry humping her, but
No, he takes down his pants bit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Mom doesn't seem to mind at all.
Yeah.
No. Like I said, she's definitely twisted. Like I said, but I think it started out as a survivalist type of thing,
I find in the remake the way they handled that, where she's sitting in the chair, much like Mom in the first movie, just sitting in the chair watching this. There's a point where one of the sons who's injured, and he's bleeding out, and they want to give him, his first sexual experience. So they pick one of the victims.
Well, they don't pick one. They don't pick one.
No, well, why don't you explain that part?
Oh no,
I was going to save it, but I'm like,
no, let's save it. Let's save it. Yeah, let's not forget, because they don't really pick one.
They don't really pick one. That's true. I love the psychological stuff in that one.
Yeah.
And she sits to watch the moment, so I think that's a bit of an homage to the first one.
For sure.
Yeah.
So twisted.
Yeah, both of them. But yeah, I was disturbed more by the remake than I was by the first one. And for some reason, we were talking about some of these scenes, and I think I got an edited version of this film, the remake, because the scene you're talking about with her watching her sons wasn't in the movie version I watched. It was not in.
Oh wow!
You may have,
you may have,
and that may be why
you
might have got a TV version.
Yeah, I may have, because there are a couple things that you talked about. I'm like, I don't remember that, and I sat through the whole thing. Right,
no, we saw the very unsettling version.
Yes, well, it was still unsettling, but that might be why I didn't feel as unsettled by the whole film as you guys did, because I missed these key scenes.
Okay, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, it sounds like some of the more disturbing stuff wasn't in yours.
Because I remember watching it going, well, this was banned in the UK until like 2012. Why am I not? I'm not seeing anything here that would warrant that, even in 1980.
Maybe you'd probably definitely got the edited version then.
I'm guessing so. Yeah. So back to the original. Now they've used up Jackie. She's been stuffed in a drawer.
Yeah.
They do Adley. I think it was Adley who makes the notion that she didn't feel so well this morning, and I got the feeling that maybe they were making a reference that she might have been throwing up as morning sickness or something, or maybe it was just a reference to she didn't feel well because she got her shit kicked out of her.
She's not feeling well. She's been raped a lot and had the shit kicked out of her.
Either version of that thought, like neither one of them is a good thought.
No.
Yeah, because the internal damage you can have can kill you.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
So I think, because she does not survive. Mm-hmm. So, they beat and raped her to death.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So the other girls upstairs, it takes them all night before they figure out, hey, maybe we should try to escape.
Yeah, why would they wait? They've just left. That's when you start escaping.
Yeah, that's when you start the escape plan, not while they're having breakfast after waking up to Big Bird.
Yes. That's the one bit that really bothered me.
Walking on the breakfast table.
Yeah, again, and that's another thing that kind of made me think children, because that's exactly when they get excited, they just sort of get up and go, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that really gave me that whole feeling that they're just perpetual children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Trina was actually starting to make some headway on escaping.
Yeah,
and then they bring them breakfast, essentially. Well, they free them to have breakfast and
then leave them free,
and then leave them while they're doing their exercising. So,
which I don't get.
I don't get either. So they start looking for Jackie, going from room to room, and that house is just disgusting.
It's a Texas chainsaw house.
It is a Texas chainsaw house, but first they lower Trina out the window.
Yes, they were going to come out. Oh, yeah, that's
to
when
open the door from the outside,
and they're wrestling, and they almost drop her in front on top of Adley, and poor. What's her name?
Abby.
Abby's the one holding the sleeping bag, and it's this thin cord that's just cutting in her hands. That actually gave me the heebies when we finally see her hands later.
It gave me the heebies, but I loved that tension. Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
I love that cut hand effect. I mean, it was gross.
It was very effective.
It was it was. It was one of the better scenes in the final half of this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the fact that Trina didn't run to go get help was kind of confusing at first, but then it's like, no, she went back to get her friend.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why she was lowered out, and then, because they got it locked from the outside.
Yeah.
To get in.
They couldn't get through the doors. So,
Yeah.
So they went back in the front while they're all fucking around outside.
Yeah.
To get Jackie.
And hopefully Abby.
Yeah, and
because they could have escaped, but they didn't want to leave Abby behind because they did go
Jackie.
or Jackie. Sorry, yeah. So they went looking for Jackie in the house, right?
They're not overly successful because Ike does a tackle on them.
Yeah, but yet they still get away. This confused me.
Yeah,
a bit.
this was a really awkward moment because when they get away, it's because Mama starts screaming because the boys have left her alone. So they just
She starts
stop.
talking about Queenie,
Yeah, talking about Queenie, and so they stop trying to wrangle the girls and go see the Mama.
Yeah.
So that allows all the girls to kind of get away, despite the fact they weren't going to be. Could have taken that extra second to wrangle them with and take them with them. So it didn't make a lot of sense. But again, that's, as Sam said, you can just, I guess, explain it away as little boys, not a lot of logic happening.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No, Mama
And when
says
Mama
come.
yells, you go.
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what happened.
She has that level of control over them. That is essentially what we're supposed to walk away with.
Yeah. So, the girls are getting away. Jackie is barely functioning at all.
Well, she's dying.
Yeah, she's totally dying. But they're trying to get away. It was Abby stays with Jackie as Trina goes to the car, which has been...
Oh, they wrecked the engine. They pulled out the wires.
So the car's not functional. And they kind of hide her. And there's a lot of cat and mouse stuff happening with Trina during that time. And Jackie kind of passes away quietly while all the other craziness is going on.
Yeah.
Right. And this is where we come to the part
Ike's been the one sent out to retrieve them.
Yeah, but this is where we're coming to the part where Trina finally breaks, right? Because she's been the confident, sort of heroic one throughout the whole...
Through this part,
right?
For this first half,
Yeah, but this part, the part here where she finally gets to the road and there's a police car.
Yeah.
Right? This makes no sense to me. There's like a whole scene missing somewhere.
Yeah. I did with this movie what I do with some of the movies where I get confused. I just put in another story where I thought that at some point they killed a cop.
Yeah.
And they took his car and his stuff.
Yeah,
And that's just what I assumed.
Yeah, no, I wasn't confused. I did the same thing in my head. I'm like, well, obviously this happened, but I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
They would have established a lot more about these characters for sure.
So Ike's dressed up as a cop and's got the cop car thing, and you get the feeling they've done this gag before.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be great is if you had like just a little bit more in around the farmhouse where you have where the cop car is or where somebody else's car is, like their trophies from other people that they've killed.
Yeah, establish that this is not like, I mean, they tried to at the beginning of the movie there with Mama and the kids and the hippie couple. I think that there could have been a lot more visual cues that this is something that they do and enjoy doing.
I get the feeling like this small...
They kill as a family.
Wherever... was this Kansas or somewhere? I don't even remember.
I can't remember.
Did I even write that down?
No, New Jersey. Well, no, they get picked up in New Jersey because that's what Trina's complaining about when they get dropped off at that bus stop, which looks like it's in an industrial area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're from different parts of the East. It's Chicago, New York, and I can't remember where Trina was from.
She's Beverly Hills. She's from LA.
She's Beverly Hills, yeah.
Trina loses it here when she realizes that Ike is the cop. And she successfully escapes him, but there's this whole meltdown scene, which I thought was great, where it's like, they're the cops. We're dead. Right? Like she's
There's
given
nobody
up.
to run to.
Yeah. Well, and I get the feeling they've been isolated on this mountain because of their reputation. It's obviously probably one of those parts of the U.S., that small area that if there's one cop, he's probably patrolling like 3 different townships or something like that.
Well, the guy at the shop.
And that's what I wanted to get back to.
Yeah.
The guy at the shop kind of warns who was it? I think it was Jackie. Yeah, warns Jackie away from it, and then her 2 friends who they've done this hooded thing because it's her surprise where
it's
they're
her
going.
year.
So they wander in with hoods over their heads because it's supposed to be a surprise of where they're going, and they're just kind of trashing the place. And he's like, "Okay, go."
Yeah.
He knows what's going to happen to them. Like, you know what? You guys deserve to go up there.
Which I think is just, okay, so a few potatoes fall on the floor and they deserve to be raped and killed. You need to fix yourself, old man.
Yeah, settle down, dude. Settle down.
But I did like the one bag that Abby had on. It's like, there was the paper grocery bag, but they drew a face on the front with like a mustache. I love that little detail.
Yeah, they had some fun. Yeah,
they're college friends.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, and it established that relationship, but like we said, like with the pranking and the sense of humor that they had with when with each other.
Yeah, if you're in a small town, don't bruise the tomatoes. Just saying.
Don't knock anything over because apparently that makes it okay to kill you.
And if some old guy says you don't want to go there,
don't
change your plans. Don't go there.
This is an old trope now. We've seen this in Friday the 13th. You're all gonna die out there.
Yes.
Maybe listen to that. Maybe listen to that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to turn back around and, you know what? Maybe a day spa. Maybe a day spa was a better way to go.
A hotel. Let's find the near Tilton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pool.
Right.
Hot tub.
I changed my mind. Let's go to Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah, or like go to like maybe just the next small town and stay at like the tiny little motel there somewhere, but actually somewhere by a highway because that's psycho. You don't want to go off the highway. Okay, wait, just don't travel. Maybe.
Yes, wrap yourself in bubble wrap.
Don't travel or go into the woods. I think we've watched so many movies that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't apply to the remake.
No.
Because they weren't traveling.
Nope.
No, that's the worst. You're not safe anywhere, guys.
I love that hook in the remake, yeah. So, they go back. They have nowhere to go but to go back. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, all right, you know what? Fuck these guys.
Well, yeah.
And I know it predates Rambo, but I love the Rambo bit where they're tying their headbands around and like breaking items off the cars.
When you get that determined, sweat gets in your eyes.
Yeah, but I just loved it. But it predates Rambo, so it's about the same time, wasn't it?
About the same time.
But speaking as a girl, like you do kind of want to keep that hair out of your eyes if you're going to be killing people.
First Blood was before this.
It did answer one of my questions though, because when I was watching this movie, I was like going, "Oh my god, you guys have a weapon! You have to have an axe, otherwise you wouldn't have a fire." And in that scene, they put the axe in the bag. I'm like, "Oh, they did have an axe."
Yep.
I was very satisfied by that.
Yeah, and I mean, and I love the fact that like they grabbed everything they could think of that could possibly use as a weapon, like the car antenna.
Yep.
Have you ever been hit with one of those?
It hurts.
It fucking hurts a lot. Right? You get hit with it enough times, and you're probably not going to want to fight back.
And if you're breaking it off, you got a little bit of sharp pointiness at the other end.
And the car ones are harder. Have you like the little stereo radio ones? Those hurt like a bitch.
Well, you're talking like this is 1980s one where they got those big metal rods.
Yeah.
They're not a lot of flex to them. They were more collapsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would have hurt. So I liked seeing that they were not just relying on their one axe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a makeshift backpack that they have.
Yep.
With a raincoat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So there's some clever bits, which I really liked.
Yeah, and they were pretty aware of their surroundings. The Drano bit, which plays again in both movies, the Drano bit was pretty good.
Yeah, and that was the one that sort of stuck out in my friend's mind when he was telling me about this when we were in high school. Right, it was creative.
It was.
Oh, yeah, it is creative.
Yeah, just pouring Drano down somebody's throat. You can just imagine what it's going to do to a person.
It's going to, which I was confused by how Ike just kept going.
Yeah, well, I don't think it would kill you, at least not right away. I mean, it's going to cause some problems, but especially if you swallow it.
It'll burn and dissolve your throat.
Yeah, and
so you're not running around.
No, they were showing some deformation of his face at least, and it was kind of surprising he gets up. But that's a horror trope, right?
True. Yeah.
They got to keep going for a little while longer.
But we should get to how he actually dies.
Well, why don't you get us there?
Oh, well, anyway.
Was it the TV?
No. Okay, this is the funny. A lot of radio stuff a lot of electric stuff happens to him because first you have the antenna, and then you have like the Drano. The antenna's Adelaide, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the antenna's Adelaide. But yeah, like the Drano down there. But then he gets hit with the TV on the head, and you think that's got him. Doesn't get him. Mm-hmm. Then he goes after Trina again, but Trina grabs the electric knife and starts stabbing him with it. Which why even turn it on? And
no.
B, I thought it was going to be a completely different thing.
Yeah, this is an electric carving knife, so it's not going to work in a stabbing motion. It's just not going to do anything. They're fairly blunt on the end.
It bruise them a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know. If you hit it with enough force, really, you might be able to do it.
Well, I suppose.
A blunt metal object you can pierce if you really try. But, I thought she was going to,
just been sawing at his neck.
That's what I thought she was going to do. This is what
but they didn't have the
confused
budget
me.
for the effects,
No.
so they stabbed.
No. They already did one decapitation, and that was all they could afford.
Yeah.
But that's what they should have done. We should have been the electric knife across the throat, just mowing the head off. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Or just making him bleed out. You don't even have to take the head all off.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. No, that was Trina who did the...
Trina did that, and that means
They
after
both kind of
that-
take turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Adelaide... Well, there's this whole thing they get Adley.
Adley.
I always thought it was Adelaide. Yeah, they take him out and choke him out, and then when they're taking the body out, then Ike comes jumping out of the window onto Trina. That really should have messed her up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, he was the better of the two hunters, I guess, as the boys... He was
Which is why Mama sent him out in the
quite
first place.
gifted at it. Yeah, he seems more focused. Adelaide's just
Adel.
He's the younger brother.
Yeah, Adel. Hey, there you go. That
There
was
you go.
probably how the name came out.
Adelaide.
Probably, yeah. They don't make it seem like he is the dumber of the two, but maybe that was the irony of it. The
Yeah.
one that appears to be mentally handicapped is actually the smarter of the two.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, once both the boys are out, then you get the final kill.
Yes. Now it's Mama's turn. Mm-hmm. Sam, you want to take us through that one?
I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, because I was so focused on that weird dungeon bedroom she had that I completely forgot how they get her.
At one point, she goes looking for her through the house.
Yes, I remember that part. I remember because I remember they end up in her.
Okay, well, does the sex toy ring a bell?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
the sex toy.
I'm sorry, is that a sex toy or is
It's
it
inflatable boobs.
comedy boobs?
They were yes to both.
How would you use that?
Think about the boys. It probably was a sex toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, probably everything I think was a sex toy for those guys.
Yeah.
Right. They had definitely had some raging hormones happening there.
They had lots of issues.
It was even more disturbing the fact that these were clear boobs. I'm like, oh no, you're gonna watch it.
Yes.
Well, I think with the clear boobs, that's why I thought they were just comedy boobs. You put them underneath your shirt, and ooh, I have big boobs.
Yeah, and that makes more sense. But the thing is, they had that square platform thing that they were sitting on, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say they were good comedy boobs.
No.
They're like dollar store comedy boobs.
Yes. Yes.
If somebody bought comedy boobs at a dollar store, please tell me where that was.
Yes. You know what? Remember that? What is it? San Francisco? Where the stores used to have here?
Oh yeah, they
Right,
could have gotten them there.
Yeah, we probably could have. Yeah.
Yeah, probably could have gotten them there because they were really big in the 80s too, right? Pardon the pun.
I got some crazy stuff at San Francisco.
Yeah, no, my mind went blank and I completely forgot about the really terrible.
How could you forget the comedy boobs?
I don't know how I forgot those.
Asphyxiation on comedy boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the plastic boobs. But it's also very
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
A, it's ridiculous, but B, just give it some thought in thinking about that. This is where you're fed when you're a baby. So she is suffocating her with the boob.
Now, I mean, the way they lure Mama too is Mom doesn't know her boys are dead yet.
Nope.
And earlier in the film, Jackie had done this fake stab thing where she kind of hides the knife just tight to her body, makes it look like she's been stabbed
in the back.
So Abby does the same trick, and this is how they lure Mama to them, and then Trina gets her and
Yes. Yeah, which was a really nice playback to the original joke. There's a nice long game.
It's
on
a good payoff on that
prank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a really good part of the story. I enjoy it when even in a crazy mishmash of a movie, you have a really good thing that you just go with, and it makes sense and it works.
Yeah. Now let's just go back a second to the Legend of Queenie.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I guess we did talk about it.
We did talk about Queenie, yeah.
Where she...
But there's more to it. We didn't cover all of Queenie. She tried to strangle her in a crib, then her mom cut her ear off.
Right.
Yeah, as
The
proof that
grandmother?
she killed her, yeah.
Yeah, apparently she's been out in the forest running wild.
Yeah.
This seems like a pretty preposterous thing.
Exactly.
So out comes the house. Out of the house they come, and we think, okay, they finally survived this ordeal. And this animal lady comes jumping out of nowhere,
And it ends and it fades to yellow.
fades to yellow. Yeah, fades to yellow. Yeah. I'm like, what did she do? Pee on them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I could have done without that.
She ran because she was cowardly? I don't know.
Yeah, the whole fade to yellow really threw me off. Well, the whole scene of her jumping out of the bushes.
Oh, it was ridiculous. I'm like, did we really need to do that?
No.
She was
no,
very hairy
don't.
and Sasquatchy is what she looked like, too. Like, she looked like an animal.
That was her Squatch.
Yeah. Her Squatch.
That's what we're calling her overgrown bush.
Yes. As she's jumping out of the bushes.
Oh, those overgrown bushes.
She wasn't wearing clothes at all. She was just that hairy.
Well, you spend 40 years out in the, or more years out in the bush, you know, you might adapt. Right?
Maybe.
Like, no razors. Not like she's got going to the spa.
But I keep thinking, like, she's supposed to be the same age as Mama. She should not be that agile.
But she had gray hair.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it was pretty. I mean, the camera was not good to begin with in this movie. But, yeah, they do an intentional fog over. It's really out of focus, so you don't get a lot of details because, obviously, the makeup's ridiculous. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they know it.
There's some gray streaks in the hair. Yeah, they know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
And it worked better because of it, but wasn't even necessary. They could have just left it with them when they buried Jackie out in the woods, which I don't understand why they would do that. I think they would take her home to be buried.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they do that a lot in movies.
Yeah.
I find.
Well,
Your friend dies and you bury them where they died.
Well, and Jackie's the one that brought them out there in the first place. So this is a place that means something to Jackie.
Yeah. Or
I can defend that one.
Or it could be like, well, we buried Jackie in the woods, and people are going to ask questions if we take the body back. They're going to find out we killed a whole family.
There's that, yeah.
There's that.
So Jackie just disappears.
Yeah. Well, no, we just blame the boyfriend.
There we go.
There you go.
In our remake,
we should just do it. If we want to do it, we should just do it.
You know what?
I don't know.
What they did with the one that we're about to get into is so well done.
Yeah, Darren Lynn Bousman deserves a lot of credit on the remake. So I'm going to run the trailer for the remake, and then everybody can play catch up.
Birthday cake in 10 minutes, guys. Woo! You left the door unlocked?
Maybe. What the hell? What the hell are you guys doing in my house?
State authorities have just released the identities of suspects.
That's a terrible sketch.
Wanted for rape and murder. The bank robberies.
Johnny's been hurt.
Oh my God!
We're at the house. Just get Mother and get here fast.
What are we gonna do about this?
Simone, I gotta fix this. Control yourself. Mama's coming. She's not gonna be happy. Hello, Mother.
Please, get up. Make yourselves comfortable. I'm so sorry. I don't want you lying there on the floor. Go sit down on the sofas. Now, you fail to cooperate with anything, there will be consequences. You see, rules are what make order out of chaos. We must follow rules. She always is impulsive. They are hiding our money in this house, and I am going to find it.
We never received any money.
Please, I believe you. You, I'm not so sure about.
Where's the money? They're monsters.
Remember the rules, dear.
We're just gonna sit here and let them take us one by one, huh? Mother is gonna be very unhappy.
I taught them to survive. I swear, sometimes you boys are just little savages.
Oh my God, how good is Rebecca De Mornay?
So menacing. I love her when she does menacing.
You know,
so amazing.
When we were doing 31 Days of Horror, this was the movie I was looking for.
Me too.
This was you were literally looking for it, but I didn't. But this is the type of movie I was looking for, one that actually made me uncomfortable and gave me chills. This movie did that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that for me, but I was so engaged with the performances. Like, I could have watched it again. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Rebecca De Mornay was what really drew me in.
Yeah.
But some of the other performances as well. Patrick John Flueger, who was Ike, I thought was also really amazing. He was movie.
Really
Those were probably the top two performances in the film.
He's so good in it.
Yeah, he's so good. And thank God they just did away with the inbred thing. Mother's Day 2010, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. And if you don't know that name, he directed Saws 2 through 4, Repo the Genetic Opera. Nice. So, big fan of his. Screenplay was Scott Malam. And filmed in Winnipeg.
Nice.
Yeah, because, we like to do some Canadian content.
That explains a lot of the feeling I had when watching it, like watching that neighborhood. That's probably why I'm like, this feels kind of familiar-esque, and that's what makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. It doesn't look Canadian, though. It's really well shot.
It's really well shot.
Really well shot. Starring Rebecca De Mornay as the mother, Jaime King, who you might know as Goldie/Wendy from Sin City. She played Beth. Shawn Ashmore. Shawn. Oh, that was your flub I did for you.
Thank you.
We were talking about that pre-show, and I'm like, damn it. Shawn Ashmore, who was George. Briana Evigan. Sure, she was Annette. Patrick John Flueger was Ike. Warren Kole was Adley. Deborah Ann Woll was Lydia. She's better known these days as Karen Page on the Daredevil television series on Netflix. Go check that out.
She was also in True Blood, too.
She was in True Blood, yeah, but it's True Blood was last week's show. Now it's Daredevil.
Okay. I'm just saying other people might know her from that.
So they might.
Probably do. If
she was a werewolf or something on that, wasn't she?
Vampire. She was a vampire.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get very far in True Blood. I didn't like it that much. Frank Grillo, Daniel, and he's been getting quite a bit of success with the Purge movies, and was also Crossbones over in Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, although he didn't get near enough screen time in the part. Just saying. Damn it. Lisa Marcos was Julie. Matt O'Leary was Johnny, and I just want to mention he was in a favorite film of mine called Brick. Go check that movie out.
Good movie.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch that one.
Yeah. Lurique Bent was Trishawn. He was in Saw 4.
So
Lots of Saw alumni, actually, in this movie. Or just Darren Lynn Bousman ones.
Saw alumni.
Yeah, even some of the cameos, some of the small parts in there, he's pulled from other movies, like Repo. Tony Napo was Dave. Candice McClure was Gina. She was in the 2002 Carrie remake, so we will be revisiting her at some point. And Jessie Rousseau was Melissa. She was also in Saw 6. So...
Well...
Which was not a Darren Lynn Bousman Saw. Just saying.
There we go. So
just another Saw connection, regardless.
Saw crossover.
Yes. And there are certain, I'm going to call them Bousman-isms in this movie.
Yes.
With the rising music and the crescendo of all these little things he seeded throughout. Because he does psychological quite well.
Very well. I mean, because most of this movie is psychological, except for a few... Like everything builds up to these like really explosive moments of violence, and then it all tones back down, and then it builds, and then again you get this like explosive, and it's truly explosive violence.
Yeah,
right? And it's not horribly graphic for the most part.
No, but when they happen, they're just whoa. Yeah. You are taken aback because they're just even more so than you think they're ever going to be. Because every time. Especially when Rebecca De Mornay shows up, every time she speaks, you almost get calm.
Yeah.
And then the lessons come.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like that's the whole thing. Like she's very nice and measured. Like, oh, you boys, what are you doing to these poor people? And then there's like, you get up. I'm going to be so nice to you. Like just to really put them off their game, and then just goes full fuck nut.
Now, this movie does take place in Kansas City because we have tornado warnings happening, and these people are having a birthday party for Daniel, and they're doing it in their storm basement because, this is Kansas, and tornadoes are coming, and they're prepared for these kind of things. So they're like, don't worry, we're tornado-proof, it's fine. Let's just have a good time. So they're in their basement.
Their new basement. This is very important. It's their new basement.
Yeah, they've only had this house for a few months. Now, this house used to belong to Mother.
Mm-hmm.
This is where her family was raised, and she lost the house in a bank foreclosure. The kids, the boys, didn't know this had happened because they lost their emergency phone that Mama had given them if something went awry to contact them, which is one of those rules of Mom's.
Oh, yeah. She's
very upset
rules.
that they lost that. And they'd been sending her money that whole time, not knowing she was gone.
Yeah.
So they had just robbed a bank and were fleeing the crime scene. Things had gone wrong. The person or persons that they had partnered with had screwed them over. One of the brothers is shot or injured during
I don't know
that
what
struggle.
kind of injury
that was a shotgun blast.
Yeah, we never see any of this happen. We just see the escape from that, and we hear about the crime on the radio, that sort of thing.
Very Reservoir Dogs-esque, actually.
Yeah. So they're escaping from that moment. They're trying to flee, and there's a roadblock, and they think it's more for their tornado than them anyway. But you got a guy bleeding out and screaming in the back of the car. You can't go through the roadblock.
No.
So they turn back and go home. They go home. They're going to find Mom because Mom will know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Except Mom's not there.
Oh, no.
And I love the reaction when they go into the house.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be what would happen.
Yeah.
This isn't our stuff. What the
and
hell?
The young man who's been shot. He's like, "Are we at home? Is this our house?" And Ike's going, "Yeah, this is our house, but something's wrong with it, right? It's like something's changed, and he's very confused as to what's going on. But he knows he's home, and something's not right."
Yeah, Daniel and Beth. I think it's Beth.
It's Beth, yeah.
Yeah,
Beth.
Beth.
Yeah, Daniel and Beth. They hear a little bit of noise, but there's a lot of music and stuff going on. Most of the guests.
They're having a party downstairs.
They're having a party. They're just like, we're just going to go check things out upstairs.
Well, and Daniel says that he left the door open for one of their friends who was still coming.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she got mad at him because he left the door unlocked.
Yeah.
Yep. Which
Yeah.
I have a feeling has to do with what happened to the backstory.
In the backstory, yes.
So yeah, they go upstairs and find the boys, and of course the guns are drawn, and they're like, "Hey, whoa, and where's our mom?" That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot something very, very important. We forgot the intro.
Have we now?
Oh, Jay. Oh, sorry. I apologize. You had a plan. I'm going to stop. So I'll wait for you to get to your.
I think did we blow that earlier already?
I
thought we mentioned it earlier.
We mentioned it, but I don't think we really went into exactly what happened.
No.
Okay, well let's set that up now since Sam has already
let the cat out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sorry, I don't always know where you're going. So
yeah, the opening of the film, it opens on a hospital, and we see this is the maternity ward.
Yeah,
and we see this nurse. We never see her face. We see this nurse going in, basically grabs a baby and walks out.
Yeah.
And is fleeing.
Being chased by security.
Being chased by security. They have noticed, another nurse noticed the baby is missing. And
yeah, the nurse who's supposed to be there.
Yeah, and she was only away for a moment, and yeah, hits the alarms, and she's being pursued, and security gets clocked on the way out, trying to get her. And
really, I thought he gets stabbed repeatedly.
Well, no, he gets punched and kicked and stabbed. Yeah, no, it's a bloody mess.
But yeah, he's got his gun drawn, but she's holding a baby.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
It's a terrible situation.
Yeah, so this nurse gets away with the baby, and then we go back into the whole party thing.
Yes.
So that's your setup. We'll get back to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is a nice hook in my mind of that doesn't get explained in the first one. Is like, well, who's the dad of these Mongoloids?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we never hear about any of that. So I think I don't think I'm blowing anything at this point saying that mother's been stealing the babies. She's barren.
And this does nothing but this also is really great because it completely adds to this idea that she has taken babies and she wants to keep them forever.
Yes, she is desperate to be a mother and wants to be a mother forever.
Yeah. So that that's how desperate she is. That really ties it in, I think.
Oh, and this plays to some of George's rage later in the film because he's the doctor and he's been looking after Johnny. And it's a case of keep him alive or you don't live kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, I can do my best, but fuck.
Yeah, but as his friends are starting to die around him, he's getting more and more pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to let him fucking die if you harm another person here.
Yeah.
But at one point he loses his shit and he's like, yeah, you don't think I noticed that none of these kids look like you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't look like each other either.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. I really liked George as a character.
He's so good in this movie. I like
He was, when he first gets...
Shawn Ashmore.
Yes, Canadian.
He's so wonderful in this movie.
Yes, he's wonderful in everything you see him in. Because his twin brother is also an actor, so I can never remember which one was in which movie, but they both are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when he comes up the stairs for the first time, right? Because he comes up the stairs and somebody points a gun at him, he disarms him. Like, boom, doesn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted to see more of that from...
Iceman!
Yeah, exactly, Iceman.
I wanted to see more of that from George instead of the ignominious end that he received.
Most of the characters at least get a stand-up moment of combat or whatever. I mean, there's that one, the toupee guy.
Yeah.
He's the one that nobody seems to like, but even he gets a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he gets to fight and fight back or at least defend himself. But he's the most Weasley of the bunch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it was safe to say he wasn't going to. His fiancée was probably going to leave him after that if they'd all survived.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't have much stock in their relationship to begin with.
No, she was pretty upset about him not standing up for her.
Well, no, it wasn't even just that. I was just sitting there going, like, yeah, they're not going to stay together.
That dancing scene and stuff that she did at the beginning of the movie at the party. Yeah, he was.
They don't have a long-term relationship.
Yeah, they were not compatible.
No.
No.
I mean, she was probably into his money. Yeah, he's got kind of a feeling that he did have some money, and I mean, she had the tattoos and the.
Yeah.
It's like she was a bar star kind of lady, right?
Yeah. And that's also part of the psychological manipulation that mother does on this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Annette's pretty strong when she has her moments.
Yeah. But she also gets just really put off her game.
Oh yeah, she gets run through the ringer in this movie.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, she's the one that's chosen to be the girl to have to have sex with a dying man.
She's not chosen.
Yeah, she's not chosen.
No. Wow.
Kind of, but not really, because it's a very.
There was the fight in the basement where the games these guys would play with these people. Yeah. So
this is why I don't think they were going to live.
There's a little fight happening. Initially, they pick Julie to go, and Mom finds her unfit. This
woman's not good enough for my son. I'm like going, you're going to choose who's going to fuck your son? How twisted is that?
Yeah, right. And there's already some animosity with, what was that toupee guy's name? Dave?
I think it's Dave.
I think it was Dave. And Trishawn.
Mm-hmm.
So Mom's like, wow, why don't you settle this? The loser's wife goes and
takes care of my son.
The loser's woman goes and takes care of my son.
So, yeah, they're forced to fight. And it's not the only thing because Ike does that to the girls at the bank.
Yeah.
Yes.
As well. Because they're trying to get enough money to get out. So they want the money that has been sent to the house. And part of this is to get either Daniel or Beth to say where the money is. Mm-hmm. Daniel keeps saying he doesn't know where the money is. Beth said the same thing. And Mom believes Beth. Yeah. So they're torturing Daniel.
Yeah.
And Daniel's friends.
I actually, cringed and held my hand when they did that.
When they were hammering his hand.
Oh, with a ball. Because they have a great basement. They got a pool table
and a
bar.
Yeah.
It's set up for a tornado party.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was extremely cringeworthy. But yeah, and the fight between Trishawn and Dave was brutal. It was a brutal fight.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, it really does talk to the psychological manipulation of mother and her kids, right? Mm-hmm. But they learned everything from her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure.
She's just so controlling and in a very quiet, psychotic way.
I love it when she first shows up.
Me too.
Because Adley at this point had gone down the basement, was going to rape a girl. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which one now, but I mean, it was a pretty ugly scene. She goes down and apologizes to them.
She's like, everybody get up off the ground. Go sit down. You boys are just animals. She's just...
Yeah. And she's like, we just want to get out of here. And she lays down the ground rules. If you work with us, you guys will be fine.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the movie, when she first comes, I think she was sincere.
But she was, when she figured that they had her money, then they had no hope. They were all going to die.
They were all going to die at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. She thinks she's being lied to. I mean, if somebody does something against her rules, like, oh, you're lying to me, well, there are consequences to lying.
But that's only if she thinks you're lying.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if you're actually lying.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you've told her the truth or you've undergone so much pain. There's no reason why you would still be lying. She still thinks you're lying. Because Mom is the one who knows everything.
When Gina tries to escape, and it was even more horrible because Daniel's sent to go get her.
Yes.
He thinks there's still an out on this, so he does what he's told. So he brings her back, but the consequence of it was her husband, has this great speech, and her husband's wrapped in plastic on this chair, and then they pour boiling water into his ears.
Yep.
It's just
that really made me nauseous.
It plays out so well, the fact that he can't hear.
He can't hear. He's disorientated and winds up shooting his wife.
Yeah, and because he's startled, right? Because he can't hear. He can't hear who it is.
Yeah,
and part of it is this whole thing is when she's going through those whole motions, and like we the girls at the ATM, you find out these kids are good at these games, but this is kind of when Mother lets the pin drop, where she's like, "No, I've taught my children." The consequences aren't just for them, but for their siblings. So she has played these games with her own children.
Yeah. Oh, sure, because Ike does the same thing at the ATM when he's trying to get money from Beth at the ATM, and these two party girls show up, and Beth tries to warn them away, saying he's got a gun, and he pulls the gun on them, make sure they don't get away, and then he's like, well, tell you what, one of you can leave, but you have to kill the other one. And it's just, oh my God. The first girl can't do it. The other girl picks up the knife and says, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then she gets shot anyway trying to leave.
See, what I feel is funny, I'm like going, get a best friend and then scuffle, get close enough to like get the knife in his fucking neck. He won't suspect it. Oh, we're busy fighting. Snap. Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, so they're really sadistic. Interesting fact about this movie, about the whole bank robbery escape thing, the cops actually stopped them because there was an actual bank robbery that they were investigating.
Oh my God. That's funny.
During the shooting of this film, so a music anecdote, but yeah. Fake bank robbers were confused with real ones.
It just makes me think Winnipeg bank robbers.
Maybe that's how they got their funding.
Maybe it wasn't a mystery.
Or all these Americans are like going, we're shooting a fucking movie. Oh, no, you're not Canadian bank robbers. Move along.
These aren't the bank robbers you're looking for.
Oh, my goodness. I was going to say something about one of the two girls in the parking lot there. I'm not sure if she got credited or not, but she looked an awful lot like the girl from the Spy Kids movies.
Yeah, it was.
It was? Okay.
That was her. She was in Repo, another Darren Lynn Bousman directed film.
So she just made the cameo. Was fun.
Yeah, that was
okay.
her.
Nice. It looked like her, but she didn't get enough screen time for me to really tell. So.
Yeah, it was.
Ooh, but we glossed over one point, which is really imperative because there's the one. Is it her brother's girlfriend? Like, she makes a run for it and gets shot?
Yes. I was going to circle back around to that. That was, what the hell was her name? Melissa. Mm-hmm. Melissa makes a run for it. She gets shot. It looks like brutally, like, you see big blood splatter from her head onto the door. And that's initially why Ike and Beth leave. They're going to also go to the ATM and try to scrounge up as much money as they can. They're looking for about a $10,000 payoff to get the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. And that'll get them somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you get them across the border. Across the border.
Mm-hmm. Another reason was to dump Melissa's body. Mm-hmm. So they dump it behind this dumpster. They pull away, but she's not dead.
Yeah.
And
I loved that.
Yeah.
That surprised me so much, and I'm like, yes!
When they showed her and she moved, I'm like, holy shit, she's alive!
And that kind of works, too, because, Ike, who's the guy who's running all this, he's the one that also takes the most heat. He lost the phone, and he gets a lot of heat from Mom, and he's disappointed that Mom's disappointed in him. Adley, when he just starts crying when Mom's upset with him. But he's like, he feels that disappointment, wants to do better, kind of thing. And this is another screw up. And unfortunately, it doesn't play back to Mama, but it does kind of play to that. Well, you didn't check, and that was another one of those rules that might have been broken. But a couple of sanitation workers who come to move the dumpster and
in a tornado.
In a tornado. Why are they working in a tornado?
I don't know. Maybe to get rid of the
garbage
debris.
man can.
Yeah, I guess.
You're right. Maybe it's to keep the debris from
minimize the debris that happens. I don't know.
But it would be heavier when it was full of garbage. The garbage can was less likely to blow around. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyhow, they're picking up garbage.
We're just trying to figure it out.
One of them hears her behind the dumpster, and they get her to emergency services.
Yeah.
And she obviously can't talk. She goes into surgery.
She was shot in the face.
Yeah. We see. The film goes back to her every now and again as we see her progress as she makes her way to the hospital and they're doing surgery, and eventually she's trying to say something and she gets a little writing board that warns them about the cops. Now, at this point, cops have already been to the house once because they have figured out who the other bank robbers are. They don't know right away who the bank robbers are, but they catch the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he rats them out.
And
he betrayed them in the first place.
Yeah. I like how Adley's like, that's a shitty sketch.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like me at all. But yeah, a cop comes to the house because they're like, well, they used to live there. So it's a good starting point to look. They send Daniel to the door to talk to them, and that's when the cops explain, well, they used to live here. You know, have you anything unusual? And they're like, no, we're just having...
And then this whole thing ties into another thing where she's like, I don't trust him, he lies too well. You told him to lie, bitch. What? Yeah. He did exactly what you wanted.
Oh, yeah, she's a series of contradictions all the way through the movie, which is what makes it so...
Well, she starts looking into him a bit, too. Yeah. She looks at the birthday cards, and then finds that one card from Julie, finds out that they had a son that had passed away who ran into traffic, and she uses all of this as, psychological torture. So
for both him and Beth.
Yeah, for both him and Beth. So at one point, they're going to try again with this whole, where's the money in the house thing. They got him tied up, and they start burning some of the childhood photos.
I know.
And he's just, that's all he has got left.
Yeah.
And it destroys him.
It does. I mean, it's heartbreaking to watch.
And at that point, you turn, it's like, he doesn't matter what happens. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm. And then she moves, and there's Julie. And, well, the photos burning the photos didn't work. So she takes that lighter fluid, pours it over her head, and lights her on fire. Oh my god! Yeah, no, when this shit happens, it happens hard.
And it does happen hard, and that's what we're talking about. How these builds to these explosive moments of violence, right?
They are
because you move from something that's wrong but benign, right? Burning some personal memories, right, to setting a human being on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
they put her out, but Jesus.
But you don't. They've already set her on fire. You don't know how far they're going to go.
No.
Yeah, and you know what?
She talked about disfiguring her. It didn't get to her face yet. I don't know how long they were going to wait. You don't know. It was really tense.
Yeah, and you really don't know. They may have just let her burn to death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, her friends are tied up right next to her when this is happening.
They can't help.
Yeah, that's even worse. The whole every scene of violence is just crazy. Crazy intense.
Yeah, because you get that sense of helplessness of everybody else in the room.
Yeah.
It's.
You get those.
You get
chances.
Minor bits of relief.
Yeah. Well, there's times where when Beth's out with Ike, where she gets away a couple of times.
Yeah.
She never quite gets away, but there's the was it the laundromat? Yeah, the laundromat.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough in the ATM. There's a phone call back, and that's when. It was Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Gina. No, it wasn't Gina. That was the wife. Who the fuck said it? It was one of the girls had ratted out Trishawn saying it's about, maybe it was even Beth's idea.
It was Beth's idea.
It was Beth's idea. Yeah, Beth's idea to Ike saying, well, we could go to the laundromat.
It's a cash business.
It's a cash. Well, what do we get? Just some dry cleaning? It's like, no, it's a cash business, dickhead.
I don't know if you know, but there's a reason why there's tons of laundromats around, and a lot of them don't go out of business.
Yeah, and they call back to the house to get the code to get into the laundromats and the code for the safe. And then they ask, is there another safe? No. But there's a little hint about the drawer, and the drawers is where he's got a gun because it's cash business.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I know. She's so close so many times.
It is, and she pulls the damn trigger, but she's just a little too late. He gets a hold of the gun, and she fires him multiple times, and he's burning his hand on the barrel.
Yeah.
Ike's a badass.
Ike is a badass.
I kind of liked Ike.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the most sense of out of all of them, but
he was the most intelligent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, aside from the scene where the scene in the parking lot there where with the two girls, his inclination to violence is strictly a means to an end.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to take the pleasure out of it that everybody else does.
No, he doesn't want to. I mean, and we haven't even talked.
And he kind of seems the most independent of all the children.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about Lydia.
No,
there's three sons and a daughter, and Lydia comes in with mom in this.
She's been taking care of mom while the boys are out working.
Yeah,
quote unquote working.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's pretty subdued. She does what she's told essentially, but not happy about the situation at all. And she makes a connection with George somewhat. And George is like sees her.
Yeah.
Take some pills and stuff, and she's like, well, I have a skin condition. He grabs one of the pills, and
sugar pill.
It's a sugar pill. And that's where we know that she's being lied to by mom. And we think maybe she might come over to their side. I mean, she does keep George alive a couple of times, despite the fact that Johnny winds up killing him anyway. In a really pointless moment.
Yes, like I said, that's why I said ignominious.
But I think I think the whole point of that was it's just so heartrending at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was the point. It was
this
so
person
bad.
that was going to he was trying to turn her against her mother, saying,
I was hoping
you have
she
no
would
skin condition.
I was hoping she would shoot her mother. I was really for part of the movie. I'm like, just shoot her, because I mean, George at one point he says it. He lays it right on the line. He's like going, yeah, no, you just keep your kids. You keep them scared. You keep them around you. You hobble them before they can run.
Yeah, he's by far the most in tune character in the movie. Like he understands everything that's going on. Like that's why, like I said, when his death struck me, probably hardest of all the deaths, because his character was the one that I see and relate to best, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? I loved him so much.
Yeah, because I mean, even with Beth and Daniel's backstory, she wasn't very likable right from the get go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like her. Or Daniel, and maybe it's because of the way the relationship seemed to be playing out.
Well, and then it's starting to coalesce as we realize Daniel's been cheating on Beth.
Yeah,
but
I think that whole thing where their relationship seemed so off kilter, I think that's why I had trouble identifying with them. But then as I found out how it was going through the movie, I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, no, I knew you knew that they experienced a tragedy. They make that kind of clear early in the movie that they experienced a tragedy of some sort. And I mean, she was clearly disconnected from everybody else. I mean, just by the makeup and all of the listlessness of her character, you knew that she was really disconnected from everybody else. That she didn't even want to be having this party. She didn't want them in her house.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I think you're supposed to feel empathy for her, but it didn't quite play for me.
Yeah,
right?
like I think the point they were trying to get.
She's just going through the motions.
Yeah,
she's still grieving, and I think part of it is she's isolating herself because she doesn't want to be around these people. She's trying to get away, and she's isolating from her husband because he's cheating on her, but I think she also blames him for their child's death.
Yeah,
I think there's a certain amount of that. Yeah.
Well, she's the one throwing the party, though.
Yeah,
she's doing it for her husband. She's just putting it on.
No,
it's a show.
Oh, it absolutely is a show.
Yeah,
but it's she's convinced Mama. She's multiple times. Like that's why Daniel gets so tortured.
Yeah,
despite the fact she's been hiding. She knew about this money. She's been hiding the money.
Yes, right.
Maybe it's that damagedness that Mama senses, but doesn't understand that it's exactly why she hid the money. Like I think that's part of it. It's quite
every time she explains, Mom can kind of relate. When she finally gets back and Mom's having that chat, it's pretty clear that Beth's probably going to die for lying.
Until she finds out that Beth's pregnant again.
Yeah.
And then it's all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'll keep you alive at least long enough to get the baby.
Well, first she doesn't. She's like, well, you're obviously a very good liar. Prove it. So makes her do a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
So that happened to be lying around.
Well, I mean, they probably was still around from when she realized she was pregnant. I mean, we don't know how long she's been pregnant.
That's true.
Those do go out of date, but probably when she first found out.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was a pretty new revelation even for Beth. So, I mean, it's just a small thing. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
like the baby might have just she might have already been squirreling the money away because she did want to get away.
Well, they've only been in this house a couple of months. They've said so. So there's a couple of envelopes there only.
Yeah,
and so.
And you don't really know for sure
her
until like a month or
revelation
two in.
is probably pretty new as well. So if they've gone through the move and stuff, so she, at best, she's probably a few 2-3 weeks in.
Yeah,
I'd say she'd be a month, maybe.
Yeah,
at tops, because you have to miss a period.
Tops, right?
So, and I mean, she may have been first setting like putting the money away, wondering if they were going to come back, right?
Yeah,
right, and then when she gets that revelation, she may have said, "Well, you know what? They're not coming back. I'm keeping it."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it was a bit of a nest egg because she was going to leave him.
Yeah, it was a crime of opportunity. And I think that's also what Mama sort of identifies with.
She's like, okay, I kind of get this. You were doing it for your family, and that's something Mama can relate to.
Yeah.
Mother knows.
You did it for your child. I do everything for my children. In a psycho way.
Yeah, as when Mother's kind of empathizing, that's when she gets clocked with the toilet seat lid.
Yes.
Or the toilet lid.
Yeah.
And this is something that happens in every movie. Lid. And I'm like, okay, this is every time I watch this, it irritates the fuck out of me. Don't hit her once. Keep hitting until you're pretty sure she will never get up ever again.
Agreed.
Hit until you hear the sound of wet meat.
Your friends
do that.
Your friends have been dying and getting tortured and raped and
yes,
yeah, and
some of them are now dead.
Yeah, although Mom gave him cake.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck her cake. I'm hitting her till she's dead.
But cake.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have led into that.
It was dry, Jason. It was dry.
She gave ice cream to make up for it.
Yeah, there was cake and ice cream.
It wasn't a moist cake. Fuck her.
It was strawberry ice cream, Jason. That's pointless.
You don't do strawberry ice cream with chocolate cake. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. She deserved to die.
Cake.
Yeah, there was one of those moments where she was throwing them off their balance, right?
It wasn't because they were being raped and tortured. I'm like, you gave us dry cake.
Yeah.
Mom and Mother actually seemed kind of upset that they weren't eating the cake.
Yeah, she was. There was a point there where she actually got mad at them for not eating the cake.
Not gonna eat your shitty cake, Mom.
Yeah. Don't forget, she didn't make the cake. It was there. It was
there. That's true.
It was Daniel's birthday
Yeah.
cake. She just wanted to make sure they got some. But yeah, I mean, the reason they leave her alive is so you can have the epic fight scene in the kitchen, which was epic.
Oh, it was brutal.
That was awesome.
I haven't. This is the thing. This is why I think this movie is really underappreciated. What I love is in a movie like an epic fight scene between two women. Underappreciated, but
it's not underappreciated. People don't know it exists.
Exactly. Yeah. But and what I love is an epic fight scene between two women, but which is just raw and brutal and just opportunity and
it was back and forth and back and forth. I mean, neither of those women should have been standing.
No.
But
that rage they both felt. Yeah. They were. This is to the death.
I actually thought Beth would lost the baby at one point when she gets like that shot in the gut there.
Me too.
You know, I'm like, oh, that might be it because they were beating each other with cutting boards and shit, and I'm like, oh,
stabbing each other with skewers and
stress and trauma that can do it too. Like just the stress of being driven around by that guy and watching two people that could have done it.
And I got the Drano again.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so wonderfully brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Like, I mean, again, it amped up that tension. And I mean, this was one of those few moments that wasn't explosive. Like, it was building and building and building. And then it was just a great fight scene.
I love when they all take turns on Adley.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was something else. It was like, here's a couple of stabs. You take the knife. Here's a couple of stabs.
Yeah.
They were just taking turns on Adley.
Well, I think it's...
Yeah, they needed that revenge.
Oh, yeah.
And we all need our turn, and we're all in this together.
Yeah, and when the police come, it's like, well, no, we all did it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every single one of us stabbed him at least once.
Yeah.
Right? Well, except the last one, because he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. But then you get the guy who can't hear who grabs the gun. And I'm like, oh, somebody should have gotten that. Somebody who has more
But Gina did survive.
She did.
Yes. So...
She did, but he didn't, and they could have used that gun to take out Mama a lot fucking earlier.
Considering how the women got brutalized, pretty much they all made it.
Yeah, most of them did.
I mean, they all had some scars a few months
Except for
later.
Julie. I think Julie's the one who actually died.
Yes,
Yeah.
Julie dies, yes. She got her head blown off.
Oh, yeah.
After having it boiled.
It's so bad.
Or, roasted, I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't boiled, roasted.
Yeah. Flambéed, actually.
Yeah, and it got blowed off good.
Yeah, she was not coming back from that one.
No.
Like you say, the gore of this is pretty few and far between, but when it happens, it's really jarring.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes it count.
Yeah, and that makes what makes a great director is like, you know what? I'm not going to overload you so that when you do get these moments, they are shocking and visceral and you really feel what's happened, right?
Yeah, and like that's sort of the point of sometimes when you're having violence like this, like you have to appreciate that this is terrible what's just happened.
Yeah.
You got to feel that horror.
And you do all the way through this movie. Like I can't express how much I really did enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I was so pleasantly surprised with it, and I'm like, well, especially after not liking the first one, I'm like, oh boy.
Well, you're thinking it has to be better. It has to be better. Like
I liked Ike almost immediately when he comes on screen. I think I think Patrick John Flueger did an amazing job.
He's got an amazing amount of charisma.
There's a lot of charisma in him, and I hope we can see more of him.
Totally.
Yeah, because he deserves it. And then when we finally see Rebecca De Mornay come in as mother, I'm like, God damn, are you good?
Yeah.
Like, so that performance.
At certain points, I'm like, is anybody else even in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She
Oh my God.
just chews up every scene. It's like, this is
so
my moment.
subtle. Like there's nothing over the top.
No.
At any point, she never crosses that line to over the top.
Yeah.
No. It's all about, and she's got that
It's a
quiet
clinic.
menace.
It is absolutely a clinic.
Yeah. In how to play a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, how to be, and she's like nice. She's nice mama for a little while, but then when you cross her, she is vicious, vindictive, wrath of God, mama.
Yeah, yeah. And this is still the mom that raised, thieves and rapists, and
she has
she has a moral
rules.
structure. She has rules, and even those these guys,
those do
she's
get
taught
twisted.
them, and she's taught them how to survive in a life of crime.
Well, Adlai was like, "When you told me to bark really loud," she's like, "No, don't bark at all. Just wait and then bite."
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
And
she has rules about striking women. Right?
Yeah, but the one thing too is who's the daughter again? Is it Jean? I can't remember. Deborah Ann Wool.
Lydia.
Yeah, and she's like, "Mama, you told me it was always the woman's choice." Yeah, it's mine. And I'm like, "Fuck me, you bitch."
Yeah. Oh, and she does use Queenie again as the boogeyman, but this time it is the boogeyman.
Yeah. It is really.
It's not an actual thing, a physical entity. The Queenie is a boogeyman, and we don't get it explained as much, but it is a nice nod to the previous film again.
Yeah, see, I would have used Queenie as like, I don't know, some other crime lord or some sort of hitman or something, like not a mythical creature.
Well, if there'd been a sequel, they could have gone there.
Yeah, I think that would have been great. Well, she's alive.
Well, yeah.
Spoiler.
So, yes, the women had, like I said, other than Julie, the women did make it, and we see them about, let's say 7 to 9 months later.
Yep.
On the way to the hospital with Beth, who, delivers her baby.
Yep.
I don't remember, was it a boy or a girl? Did they say?
They don't say.
They don't say. So we're in a hospital, and we see Beth wake up to alarms.
Very similar to the ones at the beginning of the movie.
Were they?
They were exactly the same, actually.
What's it?
They're hospital alarms. They're alarmy, but not alarming. They're just like... they're a little alarmy.
They're a little alarmy. Yeah.
My impression for this month.
It's less jarring than my alarm clock.
Yeah, but like if you've ever been like, remember in school when they had the fire drills? That's a very alarming alarm.
Yeah, that's alarming alarm.
But this one's like a boop, boop, boop.
Oh, what's that?
Yes, but it's the same one from the beginning of the movie.
And funky lights. So, yeah. So she kind of runs to the maternity ward to see her baby who is missing.
Oh, and that's just a gut punch.
It is, right? Earlier, like, Mom was going to burn the house down. She actually won that kitchen fight.
Yeah.
And Beth had just managed to recover in time to beat her down one more time and then get the hell out. So led to believe that Mama might have burned with the house. She gets out.
Well, once her other friend comes out, Beth says, "No, there's nobody else in the house."
Mm-hmm.
She definitively tells the firemen so they won't go in and look.
Yeah, because she wants her to burn to death.
Yep.
And we do see her come out with the baby. Lydia's with her, and Johnny's has survived.
Yeah, he recovered.
Miraculously survived.
So it was actually set up that a sequel could occur.
Yeah.
It was a much better non-ending than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't need Queenie.
No.
Queenie's better is like this mythos that she uses to control her children.
Yeah,
And that's
it's such a terrible ending again, because it's like it is kind of a similar ending. They've survived this thing only to be something else,
struck by another tragedy.
Yeah. And that was what happened in the original film with Queenie jumping out of the bushes. But in this one, it was just more of a psychological gut punch to the audience and the character as well. She's like, "Oh no, Beth's lost another child."
Yeah,
like that's 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
And she pretty much knows who took her.
She knows absolutely who took her.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because
she cost her 2 of her children as well.
Yeah.
So that was why she did it in the first place. I'm sure
she wanted her revenge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. As well, but she's very maternal. She's right away. She's like, "Oh, my baby."
Yeah. She's got a real whole. Yeah, she's definitely a mentally psychopathic.
This movie
person.
was fun to watch.
Well, I know about fun.
Well, not fun, but it was an enjoyable watch.
It was definitely a movie that was really engaging.
Yeah.
Right? I think
it kept me on my toes, which was really good. Like you said, some of the home invasions, they were like A, B, C, D, but this one really did do something new and unusual with it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
It took home invasion to a different level, because most of those home invasion films that I've seen are like sort of cat and mouse kind of stuff. It's strictly based on the violence and the terror that the homeowners would feel. But this one takes it to a whole new level, because they're actually interacting with them. They're developing relationships with these people who've invaded the home, right? And the home invader is psychologically torturing them in a completely different way. She's not just chasing them; like she is mind fucking them in a big way, right? And it works so well. Again, largely because of the performances. Right?
Oh yeah,
because even the lesser known actors in here were all really good. Like I mean, of course, Rebecca De Mornay certainly owned this movie, but everybody in this movie was really good. Like you bought every single character. Right?
Yeah, it was really well cast.
Yeah,
so strong.
Yeah, because all of the actors were their characters. Right? There's Jaime King, I think, is one who plays Beth, right? Is that her name? Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen her in lots of stuff, and she always plays the pretty girl. So to see her play this sort of worn out, depressed character was a lot of fun, because she was playing against type, and she did own it. Even though I didn't buy about her sort of her being disengaged and stuff like that wasn't because of her. It wasn't her performance that didn't work. It was just that was one of the few flaws in this script.
Right.
Was that they didn't develop her far enough before for you to see and understand why she felt so disconnected from everybody else in that room.
Yeah, like it took, by the time you got that revelation, it was kind of a little bit late to really attach to her, you know?
Exactly.
What I mean?
Yeah. Because she'd already established that she was a bit of a fighter at that point too, right? Because she'd already had at least one scuffle with Ike, right?
Right.
So I think that maybe the placement was wrong for that, because I didn't understand why she was so disconnected. And looked the way she did when everybody else was all sort of gussied up for partying, and she looks like she wants to go to bed.
Well, that's a bit of the Saul formula. We'll put all the pieces together by the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they do.
They do.
They certainly do, yeah.
And there are a lot of little pieces, and they don't spoon feed it to you. So it all feels pretty organic when it happens.
Oh, it really does, yeah. But yeah, you're right. Somewhere somebody or somebodies dropped the line on this movie. Because it should have gotten distribution, and it should have made
the original studio
at least its budget back.
I don't know if the studio had folded or what, but they sold it to another studio, and somewhere it did get a UK release, and the other studios they promised theatrical only to release it in 3 cities.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that was pretty unfair. Yeah, post Saw, Darren Lynn Bousman's just kind of had these kind of stories happen to his films, but generally they're pretty good films. I liked 11-11-11, but even that one kind of got buried because another studio, it might have even been the Asylum, went and did 12-12-12, 13-13-13. And you think their sequels are something to this other movie and have nothing to do with it.
Do you think he pissed off a gypsy?
I don't know.
And he's been cursed?
But he's just had a bit of a rough go since post-Saw, and I don't know it's because if he walked away from a lucrative studio deal, but...
But I mean, like working with
the original Saw director went on to great things. So, I mean, and this guy is just as capable.
Yeah, I think just a lot of poor luck. It's so upsetting.
And he must not be a bad director to work with because he has actors he's worked with before who like to come and do these movies with him.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I wish nothing but better things for Darren Lynn Bousman, and hopefully these good films of his get a much better distribution than they have. Because, and I know how hard it is for indie horror directors, and that's the direction he's chosen right now. But I hope he keeps plugging away at it because I really enjoy his films.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could take a note from the original Mother's Day film where the one guy very, very clearly says, no, you want gross, not net points for distribution. If anything, that's one thing I learned from the original Mother's Day.
Maybe he's got enough. Maybe it's the insurance. It's an Uwe Boll thing. We want them to perform badly so we can collect on the insurance.
But if he's doing an Uwe Boll thing, wouldn't he just make a shitty
bad
movie?
Movies? Yeah,
no, he's making good movies that do terribly.
Yeah,
that's not right.
Well, then why does Uwe Boll make terrible movies that are terrible?
He just doesn't know how to do it any other way, I'm sure.
Because Uwe Boll is on purpose trying to make a terrible movie.
Speaking of, I want to know, hey, audience, this is where you can chime in. Should we do an Uwe Boll movie? Should we remake an Uwe Boll movie? And which one would you most like us to do?
To suffer through.
To suffer through. Do you think we should be punished with an Uwe Boll movie? You can let us know over on our Twitter feed at Invasion Remake or on our Facebook, Invasion of the Remake, of course, over on our Facebook page. Please go like that page. Or invasionoftheremake@gmail.com. You can also support the show by telling your friends and family. We're everywhere. If you Google us, we're the first page of, I mean, come on, Invasion of the Remake. How many are there? One. And one and one only. But you can tell them how to find us. We're on a ton of platforms. We're, of course, on iTunes, where if you're really cool, you're going to leave us 5-star rating and a review, right? Because that helps other people like the show as well. So go do that for us when you're on iTunes. You can also find us on Stitcher, Google Play Music, Audio Boom, TuneIn Radio, Player FM, Blueberry, even YouTube.
Yep.
And a ton others. Those are the ones I just know off the top of my head, because that's how far out there we are. We're so accessible. So just grab people's devices and say, hey, I'm listening to this show. Let me subscribe you. And spread the invasion around.
Spread the word. Yeah, you have to really just try not to find us. You have to be actively ignoring us to not find us.
Sound the alarm. There's an invasion.
We don't want our podcast to be what happened to Mother's Day.
What kind of alarm is it? Is it an alarming alarm?
It is an alarming alarm.
It is an alarming alarm.
Yes, you've heard our intro. It's alarming.
We have an alarming alarm because it's an alarming thing.
Only you can stop the invasion. Although, if they do them this well with a remake, then I'm quite okay with them being like this. But sadly, these ones are few and far between.
But I'm glad this one exists.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where I think the remake's actually superior to the original. But I know we're going to have a lot of people argue because I realize Mother's Day 1980 is a cult film, and there are some of you out there who love it to death. That's fine. I am not one of them.
Nor am I.
It's a comparison thing. And I mean, we're not saying you're terrible for liking the film. You just prefer it. This is just our opinion. Yeah. But
I mean, and generally, we usually do like the original over the remake. Generally. Yeah. I mean, it's not always, but generally. And at least we like the best we usually hope for is it's at least as good.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We don't have very high standards at all.
No.
That's the best we're usually hoping for is it's at least as good as the source material.
Yeah. Yes. And this one, it really did draw very little from the original, but it's certainly what it did draw.
I think
really well.
the main themes are there.
Yes,
the main spirit of it is definitely there.
I think they just did something a little more clever and modern with it. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, they took the core theme out of the original and have definitely improved upon it.
Yeah, for you, I mean, I think what a lot of people like about the original is just some of the more goofy aspects of it.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that seem to be able to break away from the more disturbing aspects, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I see their point. I kind of like the darkness of Darren Lynn Bousman's.
And the crazy central concept is intact.
Yeah.
This matriarch who rules her children and is psychologically insane.
Yeah. Well, with these two horrible Mother's Day movies, please go get your mom some flowers for Mother's Day, or at least give her a phone call and tell her how much you love her.
Yeah.
And then do not commit a crime in her name.
No. Like, here's the thing. You know what? If you are a mother and you're listening to our podcast, make your kids watch one of these movies and be like, see, I'm not that bad. And then just walk away. This is what these movies are for.
Exactly. It's like, I could be that mom. I'm not, okay? I got you a bike.
Yeah. And then I didn't make you fight your brother to the death to ride it.
Well, having a twin brother, thank God that didn't happen.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
There's a whole new movie there.
Whole new. Yeah, no, and I'd like to see them revisit these characters. I would love to see them revisit Rebecca De Mornay's character in this.
I would love it too, but
it's never going to happen.
I think it's pretty obvious that this is not going to happen. But
yeah, I want to see some strife between her and the daughter.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
But you never know. I mean, the original one, after a lot of time, got at least a little bit of cult status to it. So maybe this one will as well. I don't know.
And maybe we're making that happen.
I hope so.
I hope so. Please.
Yeah, because now that you know the remake exists, go find it.
And how good
really
it is.
Good. Generally, both of them are reviewed close to the same as far as the Rotten Tomatoes ratings floats around 49% or something like that, which is not great for either movie. But the
remake's definitely higher than that. I think
it should be. It should be
higher.
But when nobody's seen it,
yeah. If you have 3 reviews and 2, like one really high one really low one middle one, that's how you get that rating.
Well, and if you have people reviewing it who are watching it as a remake, and that's where I said at the beginning of the podcast here, is if it had not been touted as a remake, I think it would have been far more notice. But because people see it as a remake, and especially Rotten Tomatoes guys go going in there, well, this isn't a remake of the movie because it wasn't. It was.
Well,
not,
if your idea of a remake is just rehashing the same stuff, then why bother?
Yes,
like really, why did you go watch it?
Then watch Psycho Gus Van Sant and Psycho Alfred Hitchcock, and then be quiet.
That was also a review of that, by the way. We're done. We're done with that movie.
Yeah, literally done with that movie. But yeah, you know what I'm saying though is if you get those guys who will hack on it saying, well, it's nothing like the original movie, not catching the subtext of both movies and missing the point. And I think that's where you would see like these.
No, I think the themes are there, and I think
it truly is a remake.
And I think the scripts really does interesting idea of taking ideas and then turning them on their heads as far as their personalities and what drives them. It's all kind of there. It's all really there. It's just presented in a different way. That's the genius of the film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you probably wouldn't see it unless you watched it back to back like we did.
Yes.
And strangely, you have more characters, but you know more about this expanded group of people than you did in the original, which is interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I think that was it for Mother's Day. I hope everybody enjoys their Mother's Day, and we will catch you guys next week with another remake. I've been Jason.
I've been Sam.
I've been Trish.
And we're out of here.
Happy Mother's Day. Mother loves you.
Good, you're awake. You don't know how lucky you are running around in the middle of the night? Be grateful Queenie didn't get you. Thank you. My dear, you didn't listen. When my children were growing up, they occasionally misbehaved. What child doesn't, after all? But I taught them that their behavior had consequences. Not just for themselves, but also for their brothers and a sister. You'll see. If you ever become a mother, punishment is never easy. But if you want them to understand and respect the rules, you can never back down. You see, rules are what make order out of chaos. We must follow the rules.